Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now we're going to cover the charts as always, but before we dive into the charts, we all know that Swift main event is taking place this week. We've also got the Brics Summit, and Ripple's Chris Lawson and Brad Gollinghouse have also been at that Philadelphia FinTech sort of committee, if you will. So without further ado, Brics is playing out at the moment. So this is the significance of Brics. I will do a deeper dive into Brics, what's going on Monday next week. But today it's literally just going to be a quick overview of the markets, and predominantly we're looking at the charts today just to see how we're playing out going into these weekly closes here. So yeah, this is Brics Pay, everybody. So Brics countries in 2023. Obviously, you got the main sort of five, the core sort of five core members. So you got Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and then you got the new BRICS countries here. So these are just some statistics over on bricspay.com. So this is their official website, which everything's being relayed through. Look at this, sort of like 34% GDP. 36.7, export volume almost 25%, population 45%, etc., etc. You can see these statistics right there. Now, as we come down, we've got Brics Pay's consortium's area of focus. So Brics Pay is going to be the downfall of the US dollar. US dollar has been the reserve currency of the financial system now for the past 50 years. I forget precisely when, since we actually went through, we off-pegged the dollar from the gold standard ultimately, and now we've gone into some sort of hyperinflation, and this is why the US debt is looking at around 35 trillion US dollars. And that's what I believe will then flow into crypto and to some other assets as well, the stock market, etc. So yeah, we've got the Brics Pay QR, we've got Brics Pay business to business, Brics Unit. I did post a tweet about this yesterday. We will do a quick insight into that. We've got Brics Loyalty and Brics Clear as well, which is obviously going to be for cross-border security settlement. So everyone's thinking XRP. I have done a previous video actually on Brics, how they're actually utilizing a project called Project Meridian. I have done a video on that. Like I said, guys, I'm going to do a more in-depth sort of video surrounding this next week, probably Monday, but if it's not Monday, yes, at the latest, sometime next week. So yeah, if you look forward to that, make sure to hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, and click those notification bells so you can be notified when I drop that particular video. But ultimately, like I say, cross-border security settlement, so that's fantastic. Whether it's Xrp Xdc, in my opinion, Brics are working with R3 Corda. Now, this brings me on to the next set of news, because Brics is accounting for 159 out of 195 countries. So that's more than 3/4 of the world is adapting to Brics Pay, which is Brics is going to be an absolute monster, let me tell you. So look at this. It's just remarkable. And this is all being doing because of like the American suppression, especially with like the rare commodities out there, namely like gold, silver, and there's other commodities out there that have also been heavily suppressed. Now, Brics have been taking advantage of this particular sort of scenario, this suppression, because China in particular have been accumulating gold like nobody's business. Now, once we get this page loading up, this is the unit ecosystem. So this is Brics Pay unit. Now, so far, this is going to be used in Brics Clear. Now, if we come down now past all these sort of case studies, etc., go to the FAQ. So what is the Brics unit token? So to me, this sounds like it's going to be crypto in the long haul. However, for now, you can see representing a proportional share of the underlying unit basket. So this is a basket of currencies amongst the Brics. So it's like the Russian ruble. What did the Chinese yuan, and then obviously the rest of them: South Africa, Brazil, etc. So the unit is made up. That's contain 40% gold and local currencies. So initially, they're going to be like a digital version of the yuan. Now, in my vision, and I know this is what's going to happen, in my opinion, this is just an opinion, guys. In my opinion, I do believe, similar to how Ripple is going to sort of facilitate the basket of currencies for like the NATO countries, namely like the US, in particular. Obviously, you got Canada, got Great Britain, UK from where I'm from, and Europe as well, because obviously they were helping out with the sort of British pound version, and then Euro Clear as well. However, I do believe it's going to be XDC, according to the papers from Project Meridian, which is a paper done by the BIS. They have conducted successful trials as well. And similar to how Link is facilitating the Swift network on 11,000 to bring data sets over to like the FX market, I believe XDC is going to be 60%, the remaining 60% of this. So yeah, XDC isn't going to be pegged, or Ripple isn't going to be pegged to gold. I know there was that sort of rumor, that sort of conspiracy that Ripple would be, XRP would be pegged to gold, XLM to silver, and then XDC to copper. That's just a load of hogwash, guys. I don't know who's made all them sort of stories, but that won't happen. But 60% is going to be in digital currencies, in my opinion. Now, let's just see if we missed anything over here. Now, R3, the blockchain company backed by the big name investors like Intel, is exploring options like selling itself. So, for those of you who don't know, R3 is this is why XRP and Ripple are in litigation at the moment with the SEC. Because for those of you who don't know, R3 was in litigation with Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse, because basically Brad wanted XRP to gain adoption in the real world. Now R3, with a massive consortium, the full of banks, there's tons of banks. Like initially it was like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all the big wigs anyway. But Ripple basically turned their back on it because they didn't feel like they was getting the support from R3. And R3 did have a contract with Ripple to buy, I think it was about 5% of the total supply. Like I said, I'm going to do a deep dive, so forgive me if I'm wrong, guys. I'll get all my statistics ready for next week's video. But ultimately, there's a litigation, so Ripple actually took off without the need for R3. R3 didn't really help him in that sort of use case role, but it sounds like R3 actually kind of learned a lot of how XRP was built, the DLT, like the distributed ledger technology, and that's where they've obviously found the flaws with like Ripple XRP. Initially, they didn't have the private ledger. Now they do. But since then, obviously, tokens have come through, partnerships are being made, specifically with like Zinfin Network, now XDC Network. So XDC is practically a hybrid sort of solution because it is private and public blockchain. There was the Corda settler as well. That no longer exists. Now, let me just see if I've actually got that tweet up, because I did. It did respond to me, actually. His name is Troy Wood. He was the CEO. Let's just go through here. He was the CEO of Impel, which was the bridge between the R3 Corda and the sort of public sort of network here. Let's just have a look. He might be able to, if I go on Troy. Let's have a look. Troy Wood, here he is. So he was the CEO. Let's have a look at his replies, because he did reply to me. Maybe easier finding it this way. So he's mentioning link here. Here we go, the block ball. That's me. Good lad. This is news for me. So not only does Corda Settler no longer exist, which was initially first used by XRP as a first sort of settlement mechanism, Impel no longer exists either. So that was the news for me. I didn't realize Impel no longer existed up until the other day. However, SBI XDC entity are using the bridge technology. So this is confirmation from Troy Wood. Now let's click on this tweet here. So he's obviously replied to us. There's a few of us in the chat. And this is him. So for clarification, the Impel entity no longer exists. The R3 Corda XDC network bridge's ownership has transferred to SBI XDC entity using the bridge XDC or XRC20. So that's tokens built upon XDC, similar to like with Ethereum, you get, like Polygon, for example, building like a layer 2 project on Ethereum. Can move from the XDC network over to a Corda app on the Corda platform, then back again to XDC network. So yeah, let's just have a look at. I'm sure there's some other sort of clarifications. However, this is the thing: R3 Corda is practically going to be all of the money. Now, R3 Corda, as I was just showing you guys, was for sale. Believe it or not. So R3, that's an old one, 2020. So R3 Corda is now for sale. So I believe SBI will buy out the remaining shares because they are a major shareholder in R3. They do own a lot of XRP because they did set up that affiliation with SBI Japan. That was like a sort of sort of division, if you will. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it or not. So SBI are heavily involved in XRP and XDC, but fundamentally, I do believe sort of BRICS will use XDC, and like I said, the sort of NATO countries will use XRP. Now let's go over to the charts. Just before we go over, we have had some news come out as well with Ripple. James Filan is obviously your go-to guy with all the news coming out in terms of like the litigation between the SEC and Ripple. So there you go, guys. XRP Ripple has filed the civil appeal pre-argument statement. So the Form C, relevant pages are below. Let's just click on his profile here. And what else? The SEC has requested a deadline for filing its principal brief be January the 15th of next year. So this is it, guys. I've been telling everyone all along now, since May time of this year, I've been saying 35 to 36 weeks after the Bitcoin halving is when we get your breakout. So this is what this is down here. I'm now on the daily. So if we was to go up to the weekly, it'll show you quite clearly 35 to 36 weeks. And this is what Mason, Crypto Mason, for those of you who follow him as well, he's been nicking my charts as well. He's practically color-coded them as well. I'll show you guys now. Let's just go on home. I was calling out for him because I'm sick of big accounts, like nicking from smaller accounts like myself, the Block Bull, nicking smaller content from us guys. Where is he now? Shock Mason, practically copying my vertical. Like, he's pretty much coloured in same bloody colours as well, pretty much. So here we go, guys. We've got the halving and then we've got the US elections, which is what that's indicating. But yeah, like I said, 36 weeks after the Bitcoin halving is when you get your explosion here. Now, if I go over to the candles, you can see a little bit better. You can follow my cursor up. So this is like the first sort of candle to really get us going. Like I said, I want to be in XRP around at least 34, 35 weeks before we do get going. I don't want to leave it to the 36 weeks. So that'll be the sort of first week in January, in my opinion, before we get going. I know that brief from James Filan was stipulating that the SEC deadline was from January the 15th. But similar to the latest news, we don't have to go up until the deadline. We can get news or filings sooner, which is what I believe will happen. So everything, it's all scripted, guys. The whole litigation, everybody knows. Everyone's in it. Brad Garlinghouse is in it. Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse are both in on it. Everyone knows what's happening. They're both elites. They're both in World Economic Forum. Everyone has a script. You know, I think this is what all these IMF meetings are about and Sunshine Acts and all this. You know, I can't swear, but, I've got to keep it PG. I'm running a channel here. But ultimately, it's a load of hogwash, put it that way. Everyone knows the sort of act and the role within this new financial system. And again, here, we did get an early breakout, guys. So this is why I want to be in it in a little bit earlier for. This is just after the US election. So this is 27 weeks after the halving. So literally 2 weeks after the halving, we do get that impulse here. But for me, this was trading inside of the symmetrical triangle. So I don't believe we will get that massive impulse this time around. It'll be more sort of carbon copy of this sort of price action where we do play out till the end of the apex, where those two blue trend lines intervene one another. So let's just drag that back out to 36 weeks. That's when we get going again. So we pretty much whip down. We take back all the gains within that couple of week burst after the US elections, and then we do capitulate, and then we take out and tag that sort of blue line, if you will. Could move the blue line up to fit a little bit better, but who cares? Again, we're not pedantic on this, so I don't edit these videos. So if I get words wrong and you kind of know what I mean, just deal with it. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's not quite tagged, but yeah, give or take. Do you know what I mean? Again, you can change these and alter these lines as you will. 36 weeks. So I did tweet as well, guys. This is where we are now, 36 weeks. So that would put us to, again, end of December, the week commencing in first week of January. We are literally, I would say, let me just drag this down. So I want to drag this across to the current weekly candle, which is there. So yeah, 9-10 weeks away by the looks of things. Obviously, we're at the end of the week now. And again, by the time you see this video, we'll be looking at about 9 weeks before we do get into that sort of catapult range where grown men will cry for XRP because they can change all the loved ones' future. They are the man. The whole of your bloodline is chanting your name, guys. So stick with it. Obviously, Casper as well. That's dumped. So yeah, I've had it hard as well. Unfortunately or fortunately, I was only exposed to about 4 to 5% of my capital within my portfolio. So this is it, guys. You don't want to be going all in on projects until you're absolutely sure. And this is why I've got things like the XRP plan, like the XDC plan, guys. So if you haven't got a plan, like I've been saying recently, you are 30 times more likely to achieve your goals if you have got a plan written down in comparison to those that haven't got a plan. So imagine 30xing your chances of success rate for the sake of 75 quid, or you can change the currency here, just USD. Let's type in, it'll probably come up if I type in United States. We got the dollars there. That should come up around $100. Yes, $100. That will be emailed to you. So make sure that you type in the correct email if you are to secure yourself the XRP plan, which will in turn secure your generational wealth for your loved ones. Simple as that, guys. Anyway, until next time, like I said, I'll bring out that large video next week, that deep dive into the Brics sort of pay, Brics Clear, Brics Pay, etc., etc. If you're not already subbed, make sure you're subbed. If you enjoy the content, like, do what you got to do. Enjoy your weekend. I've been a Block Ball, guys. Until next time, Block Ball over and out.